Sports replays here. Yeah, so disappointing this week. I made a huge mistake, which I'll get to in a minute. Unexpected things occurred this round. As a result, I've gone down the rankings 1,000 spots, and I've only just ran rank of just under 40,000. So disappointing this week. Not a huge fall off, but I could have been should have been a bit higher up the rankings this week if things didn't make this silly error. We'll start off Luke Ryan, 132. Happy with that. Probably should put him as a VC score, but he's playing against Collingwood. I mean, it's hit or miss. Nick Daicos, 130. Happy with that. And Houston I traded in, and disappointing. So that's player number one. I think that was his lowest score this season. Yeah, look, Port Adelaide, the ball wasn't in defence as much this week. They were playing North Melbourne, so the ball was like going to be in defence as much. Still expecting at least 90 from Houston. But that's his lowest score. I mean, hopefully it is. It's frustrating when you trade a player and he just gets his lowest score of the season, or one. I'm not too sure, but it'll be up there with his lowest. And Harry Sheezel, 119. So he's done okay the last couple of weeks after a couple of weeks of a poor patch at a position, you could say. We'll take him 119. So he's not a trade out at this stage. I mean, look, if you're thinking about trading him out due to the position change, if you're going to do it, you can probably do it this week. I'm not going to do it because, I don't see the huge red flags yet, or enough to get rid of his Sheezel. He's going to be holding my side, just simply because I just want to get rid of these rookies off field as soon as possible. Then we'll make correctional changes once we have that luxury. Rather, I'm just going to be able to get more points scoring that way, just to put it that way. Nick Martin, 97. It's not that great, not terrible either. So he's had a few poor weeks, or average weeks, you could say. Considering Essendon were playing against weaker opposition. Richmond were alright this week. So 97's okay. It's better than Lachie Whitfield, 69. So I don't think he's a top 6 defender now. A poor performance from him. GWS do get the win. So he probably another correctional trade once I've got a full primo. Or he's barely a primo, Whitfield. I'm just trying to figure out who to bring him in for that. There's a few players I'm thinking about. Probably bring in Jordan Clark. There might be one or two other ones on my mind as well. One or two other players. And then we've got Draper here, 41. And yeah, look, if he can play for the buys, that's what I'm going to have him for. Just to take cover, I guess. But he's not really going to make much money at the moment. And he's not scoring enough either. So look, he's probably a hold. Unless there's some, must-have defender that comes on, which I was hoping Ethan Phillips was going to play another game, but he didn't. So, and Hawthorn won, so I'm not too sure if he's going to get him a game next week. Hawthorn do play next week. And hopefully Reed gets a game soon. I'm not too sure if he will. But he's playing the VFL though. So hopefully he does come back. And on to the midfield. Sarong, 91. Disappointing from Sarong. One of his lowest scores as well for the season. So again, just multiple players just underperforming this week. You had Martin a little bit. You had Houston, Whitfield more, but particularly in same with Sarong. Well below their season averages. That's when you know they've had a bad game. Or poor game by their standards. And Zach Butters, 113. Took not a risk, but I thought it'd be a safe option. Having him against North, I thought he would score at least 130 or dominate, but it was a bit more of an even mixed. Even though Port did get their 10-goal win, it was a similar situation to Merritt last week. He didn't score that well, even though the side still won fairly comfortably. So, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. At the end of the day, it's not my biggest worry this week. I mean, I'll probably missed out on maybe getting a Bont or a Ryan or a Daicos, maybe 10 to 15 points, but that's not not the real kick up the arse this week. It's all the underperforming players. Could have taken the captain of Gawn or Dawson and taken a huge risk there. I mean, if you captain Gawn, you'd be laughing this week. You're probably winning miles ahead of most people. Then on to Bontempelli, 135. Happy with that. And then Dawson, save our round this week. And he's been playing well the last, 6 weeks for the most part. It's sort of helped me going up the ranks a little bit. And sort of steadied the ship this week. So with that, if he had a poor score this round, I would have got pushed down low in the ranks. It's just, he sort of saved me a little bit. So I'm happy with that. Adelaide absolutely belted West Coast. Actually, that was probably West Coast's worst performance of the year. So, look, I'm happy with that. It's one of the few players in my side actually performed well this week. And then we've got Merritt, 119. So is the captain options. I got 6 points over the VC option Butters. I was hoping Merritt, would get the 130, 140 score. Because again, they were playing Richmond, who were out of form. But Richmond played all right. Merritt did okay. I mean, 119's, not a huge disaster. But look, as you can see here, there's other players I could have got. I could have got Ryan, even Dacos, Bontempelli, even Dawson, and then you got Gawn, who all scored a lot more, significantly more points. It's a bit frustrating. But once again, it's not the huge major concern this week or this round. And they've got Miller, 95, another underperforming player this week. It's quite a lot. And I don't know if he is top 8 or 10 midfielders. Top 10 mid, I'm not too sure. Probably rather Rao, but again, it's a bit difficult with that Suns mid. Who to judge? Who to get rid of? He's going to be a hold for the time being. But look, 95 is not ideal, and it's just frustrating. When you have a primo score under 100. Walsh, 114. Just standard from Walsh. Nothing to get carried away with. And then you got Green, 78, another player who's performed poorly. So we'll just have a look here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primos who have scored under 100. 300 defence, and it's not looking too great. I think Green's probably the primo that I'm going to have the correction and the midfield. Definitely to probably Matt Rao. There might be a few other midfielders I'm looking to get as well. I know he had that score of 5 in the system as well, but after his first month, he just hasn't really delivered it as consistently. I think he maybe had 1 or 2 good games after that. But I mean, GWA still won, but it's still, at the end of the day, I can't have players at that price point scoring, 78. And in fact, Sullivan scored more than him. So there you go. 88, yeah, look, that's not good enough. That's great, but, look, yeah. We'll just have to cover for the buys, I guess. Sullivan hopefully stays in. The thing is, I'm more worried about players coming back in. That's not a major concern with Sullivan. He's doing alright though, so he might keep his spot. I think Garcia and Manor, they didn't play. I think Manor did alright in the VFL, so hopefully he gets a game. But Geelong have lost 4 in a row now, so I think they should just change things up, Geelong. Who they've got this week? They've got Richmond, so they could probably try to take a bit of a gamble. Maybe bring him Manor, just for extra little cover, I guess. Same with Garcia. St Kilda again, got smashed or performed poorly. Got a bunch of junk time goals. It looks like they're not playing this week. They are. So they are playing, but they're playing West Coast over there, though, which probably isn't going to be an easy game. West Coast got smashed this week. It's going to be interesting. It might be another dead rookie. And then on to the Rucks, 180 from Gawn. What more could you ask? Probably one of the best players in the comp. Not only Supercoach wise, but just in general. There's a reason why nearly everyone has him in their team. And then we've got Sweet, 74 is okay. So he actually played this week, which is great. But it's, his scoring drying up, so it's going to halter his cash gen, and I'm probably going to have to look to trade him soon. Probably add his buy round to probably an English or a Marshall. I'm not too sure out of those two which one's ever cheaper. To be honest, I don't care anymore. Yeah, look, he could make a bit more cash, sweet, just do his job. Yeah, Livingston obviously didn't play, and then you've got Zorko, 66, which is a bit of a disaster. It's another player performed poorly, and yeah, Brisbane were just shocking for the first half and for most of the game really. It was only that third quarter, and a little bit in that second quarter. Back half of the second quarter was when they were actually playing all right, but the rest of the game they were just shocking. And Zorko was only on like 15 at half time and it was like -4 in the first quarter. He had a good third quarter, which sort of saved his score. But outside of that, he was very disappointing. And look, I know he's getting old, but we pay up so much for him. Yeah, it's frustrating. This whole four line's been an absolute disaster this week. Absolutely shocking. No one scored over 100. In fact, my bench, other than Power, my bench actually outscored. And Flanders didn't play. And it's just, Luke told, Garcia, I took, because Darcy Jones was going to play. And I think, I'll take Garcia just for the safe side. Because, we don't know what score Richard was going to get. Richards ended up scoring well. I think it's had Darcy on field and also had Flanders who didn't play, and same with Jones. If I knew that Flanders was going to be rubbed out, I would have probably swapped Flanders or not put Jones on, at least get a scoring player on. But, it was a pre-game. It was on the same day as the game. It's just frustrating when you have a late out, I can't make any changes. And by then, when you realise in the middle of the game he's not playing, it's just bullshit that just kills me with this super coach. It's happened multiple times with me. You have a player that pulls out at the last minute and there's nothing you can do about it. It just irritates me. I'm not going to use up a boost or, just to get rid of a player who, to make a trade, a crappy trade. Who's I'm going to trade him for Jones, It's just silly, It's just a real kick up the arse. If I knew this was going to happen, I really wish Gold Coast announced it, the night before, Flanders was going to be laid out. Cool. Then I could have put Richards on, before they played. I would have probably netted over another 100 more points if that happened. Maybe even more, because I had Garcia, who would have probably another 140 points, and that would have been way up the rankings. But it is what it is. There's nothing I can really do about it now. I just have to move on and learn from my mistakes. It's probably more bad luck. And maybe I shouldn't have taken that risk. But then again, you don't know what Richards was going to get. And Darcy got 42, so he probably has to go this week. Now, I can't, it's disappointing. I was hoping he would get, 80. Jackson was disappointing because you got Darcy back on the side. So it's going to irritate his scoring. He still went up in price, but not by that much. And it looks like, without Darcy, definitely top 6 forward. Without him, though, without Darcy, he's definitely top 6. But with Darcy, he's not. It's just frustrating. There's not enough forwards coming through. I think maybe Horne-Francis might be coming in. Not too sure about Petrarch. I don't think he will be. So we don't really have too much options. And I'm just really at it with this forward line. I'm not too sure what to do. It's been a disaster. It's probably the main reason why I performed poorly this week. Other than maybe a Whitfield. And some of the midfield had performed poorly as well. And then Powell 89. Did alright. And then Darcy, crap. And Luke Jones. And I got Garcia, did alright. And Richards did well. So what I'm going to do this week, I'm probably going to get rid of Darcy. Ideally, I want to get rid of him for Heaney, but then Heaney's not playing this week, so it'd be a bit silly to bring Heaney in. Probably next week, I'll bring Heaney in. Just trying to think who I'm going to get rid of out next week, because there's only 3 men on Port, so no one who else I really want to bring in. There's no other rookies, 200k. Unless I'm bringing Heaney this week, but that'd be silly because I'll be losing out a spot and I want to make sure I have, at least 18 players playing. So we'll take out one of these. Draper. I've only got like 4 primos playing. Sutherland. So midfield will be fine. So that's what still. Depending if Reed gets selected too. So, I mean, that should be at least 5, depending on Draper. But, yeah, say 5 for now. 13, 15. And then chuck at these. And 21. So I'm alright for this week. So maybe I could bring in Heaney, just for the structure of things. But I'm not too sure who else I really want to bring in this week. So it's like got buys and it just there's no really good rookies coming in. And I mean, who else are going to bring in the 4 line? I think Garcia's still got money to make. Richards still got plenty of money to make. Actually, Jones probably not going to play either, so it's probably 20 at least on field. I could probably swap if one of these two do play. So I'm not too sure who to trade in, to be honest. Like I said, Heaney was ideally, but I didn't realise he was having the bye this week. The midfield's alright. I mean, maybe I could get rid of Green for a correctional trade. But then if I bring into a player who has a bye the following weeks, though, that's the issue there. Plus, he's at a low price point. I don't want to sell him at this price. Yeah, look, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do this week. I'll just have to, worry about it later. So who's in and out. But Darcy definitely probably has to go this week. Because, he's going to lose a bit of price point. There's no other forward really to bring in, I don't think. So I'm going to have to look at who's on the bubble. If not, I'm just going to have to, do something a bit silly and bring Heaney in just for structure reasons. It's looked disappointing this week, man. A silly error that's probably cost me 3,000 or 4,000, up in ranks this week. Probably more, potentially more. And it's just, I guess it's bad luck. I mean, I guess I was a tool for doing it, but, if Gold Coast or anyone, if you're going to pull out a player or his player's unwell or something happens, just let us know the night prior. I mean, it may be even something really last minute, but I guess that's just, bad luck. I guess I took the gamble trying to do the loophole. It was just my mistake in doing that. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching.